Have you ever felt drawn to Buddhism, but also a little overwhelmed by all the words, karma, nirvana, the middle way? Like there's a deep wisdom there, but you're not sure where to start or how it all fits together? Maybe you've had moments of stress or loss and thought, there must be a different way to live. And somehow the Buddha's teachings keep appearing in books, videos, or conversations, calling you gently but clearly. Welcome to Buddha's Path. Learn and practice. Buddhism, a place where we explore the Buddha's teachings in clear, simple language and learn how to bring them into our everyday lives with kindness and wisdom. Imagine someone named Alex. After a difficult year, problems at work, tension in relationships, and a constant background of anxiety, Alex starts searching for something deeper. Late at night, scrolling through videos, they hear phrases like karma, nirvana, and the middle way. It sounds profound, but also confusing. One video says karma is punishment. Another says nirvana is some kind of blissful heaven. A book talks about the middle way, but it feels very abstract. Alex feels both inspired and lost, thinking, I'm new to all of this. I wish someone would just explain it like I'm a beginner. How does it all really connect? If you feel like Alex, you're not alone. This teaching is for you. Buddhism offers a very practical path, and these three words, karma, nirvana, and the middle way, are like three important points on a map. In simple terms, karma is about how our actions shape our experience. Nirvana is the deep peace that comes when the causes of suffering are exhausted. The middle way is how we walk from where we are now toward that freedom, one balanced step at a time. Let's start with karma. In the Buddha's teaching, karma doesn't mean a distant cosmic punishment system. Karma means intentional action. Whenever you think, speak, or act with a certain intention, you are creating karma. Those intentions plant seeds in the mind and heart. Over time, those seeds grow into habits, patterns, and experiences. If you regularly act from anger, your world begins to feel filled with conflict. If you regularly act from kindness, your world begins to feel more open and connected. Karma is simply cause and effect working in our inner life. Now, nirvana. This word is often used casually in songs and movies, but in Buddhism, it has a very specific meaning. Nirvana is not a place in the clouds. It is the ending of the inner fires of greed, hatred, and delusion. The deep, stable peace that arises when craving and clinging no longer control the heart. It is not a reward handed out by someone else, but the natural result of understanding and letting go. When the causes of suffering are removed, suffering cannot continue. That condition of freedom is what we call nirvana. And the middle way is the path that connects these 2 points. It is how we live, day by day, so that our karma gradually leads us toward nirvana instead of deeper suffering. The Buddha discovered that chasing pleasure without wisdom and torturing ourselves with harsh discipline are both extremes that do not bring freedom. The middle way is the balanced approach. Not indulgence, not self-hatred, but a wise, kind way of living that supports clarity, compassion, and inner calm. So how does this connect to your actual life, right now? Think about an ordinary day. You wake up, reach for your phone, see a message that triggers worry. In that moment, karma is happening. Your thoughts, words, and actions are shaping how your day will feel. If you immediately react with panic, complain harshly, and carry that mood through your morning, you're planting seeds of stress. If instead you pause, breathe, and choose a more measured response, you're planting very different seeds. The middle way is choosing, how can I respond wisely, instead of automatically jumping to extremes. Over time, these small choices influence whether your mind moves closer to peace or deeper into suffering. In work or study, karma shows up in the mindset you bring. If you approach everything with the thought, I must prove my worth or I am nothing, you create karma of constant anxiety. The middle way would be to care and to give effort, but also to remember that your value as a person is not limited to one exam or one project. That balanced attitude reduces clinging and softens the fear that rides beneath many of our actions. As clinging softens, you begin to taste small moments of the peace that nirvana represents. In relationships, Karma is present in every conversation. A harsh word spoken in anger plants one kind of seed. A firm but kind word plants another. If you cling to the idea, "I must be right," or "this person must never change," suffering naturally follows. If you walk the middle way, listening, setting boundaries when needed, but without hatred, you create conditions for more understanding and less pain. That is Nirvana in small daily steps. Less burning, more ease. So how can you start practicing this, especially if you're new to Buddhism? One simple practice is what we might call the karma check. Several times a day, take just 10 seconds to ask yourself, what intention am I acting from right now? Are you about to speak from irritation, from fear, from the need to impress, or from care, honesty, and clarity? You don't have to be perfect. Just noticing is already powerful. Then, if you can, shift your intention slightly toward kindness or wisdom. May my words be helpful. May my actions come from a calm place. In that moment, you are shaping your karma consciously. Another practice is the middle way pause. When you notice yourself going to an extreme, overworking without rest, or avoiding everything, clinging tightly, or shutting down completely, stop for 3 slow breaths. On the first breath, simply acknowledge, "This is an extreme." On the second, feel your body relaxing slightly. On the third, ask gently, "What would a more balanced response look like right now?" Maybe it means taking a short break instead of working all night. Maybe it means answering a message calmly instead of ignoring it or exploding. Each time you choose a more balanced response, you are walking the middle way and changing your karma. A third simple reflection connects you to the spirit of Nirvana. When you feel overwhelmed by worry or craving, pause and silently repeat a phrase like, "This too is changing. I don't have to cling so tightly." In Buddhism, impermanence is not just a sad truth. It is also a promise that suffering is not permanent either. Remembering that everything is changing helps loosen the grip of fear and desire. That loosening is a small taste of the freedom that Nirvana points to. As you listen to these teachings, you might imagine gentle images: sunlight moving through leaves, someone sitting quietly and breathing in a small corner of their home, a person walking through a busy street with a slightly softer face because they are just a little more aware of their intentions. Buddhism is not asking you to become someone else overnight. It is inviting you to take one conscious step at a time, guided by a simple map. Understand karma, walk the middle way, and move gradually toward the peace of Nirvana. The Buddha summed up his teaching in a short, powerful verse from the Dhammapada. Avoid evil, cultivate good, purify the mind. This is the teaching of all Buddhas. Within this one line, you can see our 3 concepts. Avoid evil, cultivate good is working with karma. Purify the mind points toward Nirvana. And doing this in a wise, balanced way, without extremes, is the middle way. If this beginner's guide to karma, Nirvana, and the middle way has brought you a little more clarity or comfort, I warmly invite you to continue this journey with us. Please. Like this video, share it with anyone who might be curious about Buddhism, but unsure where to begin, and subscribe to Buddha's Path. Learn and practice Buddhism, so that together we can spread the wisdom of the Dharma and gently nurture peace and compassion in ourselves and in the world. May your first steps on this path be steady, kind, and filled with understanding.